Alright, back out here for another look around firewood block here. 6 years now these have been in the ground, 6 growing seasons. So I'm just going to have a look at the growth here and see what's doing well, what's not. I've had to start cutting some of these out now. This one here on the corner you'll see is coppicing away there because I had to cut that one out. It was getting quite big and it was these ones against the fence. I don't really want them falling over into the vineyard next door, so yeah, that one's coppicing. It's got quite a few shoots, so I'll come down and actually I might just kill that one off and spray it because it's underneath this walnut tree. But so that was already a decent size at 5 years. So looking around these ones, these are all 6 years old, so there's quite a mixture of different sizes amongst the species and amongst individuals. These through here are Cordata. They're all growing reasonably well. Yeah, not too bad. They retain their foliage quite low, but yeah, they've got quite big. Probably a good 10 centimetres across, that one. And that one will be close to 15. So those I could probably cut them for firewood now. They're probably coppers. Yeah, so some of these I might start cutting out, these bigger ones. Coming down this way, so you've got some real runts here. Oh, sorry, I'm looking into the sun. There's a runty one that's actually died off. You pretty much got canopy closure here now, so this will start suppressing the grass, and these runts I'd imagine will die off like that one. Let's come out here. We've got probably the biggest tree amongst these is this one here, this Glaucescens. This is I was going to cut this down today, but I've changed my mind. It's a bit big to do on my own, so I don't want it falling on the vineyard. That there would be a solid probably 20 centimetres across there at breast height. So that tree's got, yeah, quite large, and the one next to it here, this is Obliqua. That's also now quite big and probably 20 centimetres across. This one, I think these coppers, so I might cut him out too perhaps. He's actually covered in seed capsules, so already flowered and set seed at 6 years old. There's a couple of cypress there that I've used just to fill in some holes. They're even getting quite big too. They're being forced up now by the gums on either side. That one's actually got seed cones on it too. Some of these Ovata are quite big. They're a bit of a mixed bag. Some bigger, some smaller. That one's probably 15 centimetres across. Some of those could be cut out. What else? Another Cordata there. Some Obliqua, some big, some small. Getting drier. Coming down this end. Another Cordata that's not a bad size. These have recovered somewhat this year. They had quite a bad drought last year. Some of them got a bit hit by that, but that one's come back quite nicely, and all the foliage has come back. I'm trying to get out of the sun here, facing in that direction. So yeah, this is looking from the fence line. That's a leucoxyl in there on the. I've just tried to put the more ornamental stuff on the outside, so you're looking into the red flowers there. That's quite a nice big ornamental now, nice red one. And beside it here is a sister seedling. This one's got cream flowers and also getting quite big. Looking up here, that bigger one there, that's Bicostata. That's a Globulus subspecies, so that's probably the one that's grown best here in the really dry area. And that has also set seed, so it's already got seed pods on it. I'll try and get it to focus. Oh yeah. So looking back, so quite a mixed bag as far as species and individuals, and really dry here, probably lucky to get 500 mils of rain, and haven't irrigated or anything, but yeah, getting quite a good size on. So some of those I'll start cutting out. So coming through now into these 5-year-olds now. You can see some of these radiata I've cut out for Christmas trees. That one's just coppiced away from the stump. Behind that, another Globulus there that's quite big. Those are definitely one of the better performers for in the dry, like here. I'll try and face away from the sun. It's Pinus pinea, so just been experimenting with them, but they certainly don't grow as fast as radiata. But yeah, interesting. Quite an attractive bush. This is Eucalyptus pulchella, one of the peppermints. This is very narrow-leaved. And this is in a very quite distinctive and quite attractive foliage, but glossy green. That one's getting quite a bit of size on now, considering it's in one of the driest, boniest areas here. Behind that, these bigger ones here are Globulus again, 5 years old, and mixed in with Capricis lusitanica there. Some of those getting quite big too. Coming along here, another pine nut there, lusitanica. That shows you the size. You saw the size of that pine nut there, probably waist height, and that's a radiata, and you can see that's huge. That's the relative growth rate, so that one there I've pruned up a little bit. I'll have to prune him again. Too hard to split otherwise if you leave them to grow branches. Behind that, another Globulus, and that there's probably one of the bigger trees here amongst the 5-year-olds. That's an Obliqua. So that would be getting on for 20 centimetres across there. So yeah, Obliqua definitely pretty good for here, very healthy, nice straight trunks. Self-pruning to quite low. What else have we got through here? This, I think, is getting quite big now. I think that's maculata, spotted gum. So they're not common here, because they are a bit prone to frost, but that one's getting quite a good size on. It's a slow starter. It's getting quite shady in here now, especially with the cypress, quite dense branching. So there's a fantail. Come and see what we're doing. Yeah, so it's getting quite dense in here. I need to come through and prune some of the lower branches. There's a radiata there that's quite big. Yeah, so in here there's very little light reaching the floor now, so it's really pushing stuff up. Yeah, now there's been a lot of growth this year. Another radiata, that one's probably 20 centimetres across, 5 years. This here would be one of the bigger trees too. That one's Viminalis, gum. So, not the best form. I've had to give this a good prune. That would be at least 15 centimetres across. So you could cut him now for firewood, easily split firewood. What else have we got? A couple of Nitons there. They're getting a decent size. That one's, so it's quite a lot of the lower branches dying off on that one, getting shaded out, so they should just break off now. Yeah, and that'll leave quite a nice straight trunk on that. There we go, too much further down here, it's getting a bit dense. around the outside. So yeah, looking back into the cypress here, it's getting quite, there's another large Obliqua there, that's 5 years old. That one's really shot up. It's a while since I've been in here, but some of these are really, they put on quite a lot of growth over autumn when they finally get a bit of moisture. So yeah, 5-year-old ones definitely, by the time these get to 4 or 5 years old, they really rock it. Moving along, so these deciduous here are poplars. I'm not sure what variety they are, but all the leaves have just fallen off. But these have not been a success. So you can see the difference in growth between those and the gums behind them. There's no comparison, so whatever that variety is, they've been a waste of time. Into the 4-year-olds, got through here a lot of these are Viminalis. Bit of a mixed bag really. Not the greatest of growth. They put on a bit of height, but they don't really put on much diameter. They're pretty twiggy. There's other things that have been a waste of time. These were Clada calyx. I don't know why these just haven't done well here. Not even 2 metres. Viminalis got a bit of height on now. Not sure what that is. Obliqua possibly. The radiata, they all do well. There's a Viminalis there that's got quite large. Just that individual. Some of them are getting a bit of size on. Not huge, but you know, that'll be a respectable tree in a couple of years. What else? Oops, go this way. Of these 4-year-olds, this is probably the best of the. These are probably the best of the bunch. These are Obliqua. That one and that one. And those are, yeah, they're not a bad size now. So yeah, they'd be the pick of the bunch. Something there that's been blasted by the frost a couple of times. Just come away. Globulus, it's a bit scrappy. Some runty stuff. I think that's Bicostata. Another Globulus. They put on good growth. Into the dry end here. And yeah, not much to see. Growth's not spectacular, but the Globulus survive and do alright. Come over here to younger ones. These are 3 years old and younger. I've planted mainly a lot of radiata in here, mainly just for Christmas trees really. And the ones that don't get used for Christmas trees will be firewood. So yeah, they're growing pretty well really. Got the odd gum amongst them. Looks like Ovata. They sort of sit for a couple of years and then they rocket away. Another Obliqua there I think. I've sort of settled on Obliqua, Ovata, Globulus. They do the best. Globulus there. Something there succumbed to the dry. Radiata. It's a bit scrappy that one. Something dead. Good old radiata, that's well over my head. A good 3 metres. And this is a different poplar variety here. This one's actually done pretty well. This is Kawa, which is a popular variety here in New Zealand. That one's only been there a couple of years and it's actually doing pretty well compared to the other ones. So there we go. We'll catch up again next year.